It's here.
Hello?
Have you checked the children?
They're all pots, all of them.
Whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
I'm afraid!
Don't be afraid!
No. Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Here's Gingy.
Pain has a face. Allow me to show it to you. Gentlemen, I am pain.
I met this 6-year-old child with this blank, pale, emotionless face. The blackest eyes. The devil's eyes.
You think that when you die, you go to heaven. You come to us.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
I think he's in trouble.
Julie, this guy, if he can't take a joke, he stinks.
When there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk here.
Greetings, flesh wound horror freaks, and welcome to a brand new episode of Flesh Wound Horror Forgotten Gialli Edition. I am Daniel Shine, joined as always by the one, the only, Todd Loya. Todd, how goes the day, sir?
All goes well. It feels like we're a man down, but
We are.
we had him on yesterday. So if you're needing your pugs fix and you haven't watched yesterday's Vinegar Syndrome episode, go check it out.
Absolutely. He is essential now, so can't slack off like us anymore.
Unfortunately, he's too essential, so we don't have access to him.
I know, man. I know. Gets famous, dude. Just gone. What can I say? Pug's got an ego, damn it. But nah, he'll be back. So I'm very excited today to talk about some really exciting new Vinegar Syndrome titles. But first, I just want to say, be sure to check out our Patreon at patreon.com/fleshwoundfeatures for exclusive and uncensored content. We've shot a bunch. We're still shooting a bunch.
I think there should be like 3 or 4 exclusives coming up there this week.
Yeah, lots of good stuff. And we're shooting more. We've got movie Cherry Poppers. We've got a Just Franco show. I should say one part of probably what's going to be many Just
It only
Franco
puts
shows.
over the Just Franco shows. I mean, fuck the other ones we're doing.
I'm doing them all.
Okay, what else are we doing?
I started with movie Cherry Poppers. I can't help
Okay.
it. I love Just Franco. We also have an Ilsa show up there. We
See, again,
there we have. Oh,
go ahead.
God damn it, Todd. All right, I'm trying to hit them all. We also have Dan's movie Misadventures, which I think will be of particular interest for you guys that have listened to us for a long time. We also have coming soon a very interesting interview. I will just say it involves horror, but it also involves nudists. And there is going to be maybe the first ever gratuitous nudity on Flesh Wound. So,
and we're not talking about Dan just taking his hat off or Bob flashing his man boobs.
No, man. It might be a lot more than that. So, if you want to know what the hell we're talking about, the uncensored version of that one will definitely be on Patreon. That will maybe air edited elsewhere, but the uncensored version will be on Patreon, and I won't break the bank for you. We have stuff starting at $1, so. Go on there, support us. It helps. And also, if you're not watching us on YouTube, you should be, because then you get to see this lovely beard, this awesome hat, and Todd. So in
other words, just keep listening to us. You don't want to see Dan.
It's messed up. It's messed up, Todd. Well, we are new to YouTube, so we appreciate likes and subscribes.
Yeah, do that, but just cover Dan's portion of the screen.
That's fucked up. That's messed up, sir. But yes, you can youtube.com/fleshwoundfeatures. We do appreciate it because we are new to YouTube. We've been around a long time, but YouTube, we are virgins. So
Yeah, we have 200 267 episodes of the main show, not to mention countless other ones. So I'm guessing
Yeah.
we're probably in the 300 episodes range.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, at this point. And and like I said, we have a growing number of exclusives on Patreon. So you will want to check that out. So I'm very excited tonight. We are covering some Vinegar Syndrome. We're going to have a couple Vinegar Syndrome shows, a few Vinegar Syndrome shows probably coming up in the near future for you guys. Always my favorite company. I love Vinegar Syndrome. Getting ready for that big sale, which if you're listening to this in time, is going on vinegarsyndrome.com, the halfway to Black Friday sale. And I believe
midnight Eastern Pacific on Friday, the 22nd.
Yes. I highly recommend you check them out. If for some reason you're new to Vinegar Syndrome, they're an amazing company that has put out stuff in all kinds of genres. I'm actually I have pretty much all of their their stuff, but I don't have their vinyl yet. And since I'm a vinyl guy now, I think I'm gonna take advantage and grab some of their vinyl. And so very, very excited to check out the Vinegar Syndrome sale. And tonight we are covering a series of forgotten Gialli, and I should say this is essentially Giallo outside of Italy, if you're unfamiliar. And these films,
the second one is Italian, so.
Oh yeah, that's true. Two. All right, my botch. Thanks. Good catch, Todd. But we are covering a couple non-Italian.
Why don't we start with the one that it's saying right there on the screen?
I am. I'm building, sir. I'm building.
And botching. So just get to it.
Botching. I will get right to it. All right. So we're going to kick.
They're not Italian except for the Italian one in the middle.
All right. My bad. I finished.
No, that is lack of preparation.
It's over preparation. I'm psyching myself out. God damn it. All right. Blame it on the Rona. All right. So I don't have it. I promise. All right. The Killer is One of 13 by director Javier Aguirre. And I apologize in advance if I'm not pronouncing some names right, but I'm pretty sure I got that one right.
It's better than what he called them off air.
That's lies, Todd. Lies, Todd. Are you stepping in for pugs with this sort of? That's messed up, dude. All right. A recent widow has invited a group of family friends to her large, secluded country home. However, what the guests don't know is that the reason they've been assembled is because their host suspects one of them might be her husband's killer, and she's intent on uncovering the identity of his murderer. As the guests begin to suspect each other, revealing long-kept and sinister secrets in the process, an unknown black-gloved killer begins bumping them off in a variety of nasty ways. A unique Spanish take on Agatha Christie's oft-adapted novel and Giallo source material favorite, And Then There Were None, exploitation author Javier Aguirre's The Killer is One of 13 is uncharacteristically literary in structure, but never skimps on its requisite bloodshed. Featuring some of Spain's top genre film stars, including Patty Shepard, Jack Taylor, and Paul Naschy in a supporting role, Vinegar Syndrome brings The Killer is One of 13 to Blu-ray, newly restored in 2K from its original negative and available in North America for the first time in any format. All right, so this one is very rare, and I don't think we can. I can't remember the last time we can honestly say this, but I don't believe I've seen either three of these. I've been aware of them. Of course, Paul Naschy. I'm a big Paul Naschy guy, but never actually saw it because I think you had to see it in really terrible gray market editions. And Todd, you haven't seen any of these, right?
I've seen Trauma previously.
You have? Okay. All right. All right. So Killer is One of 13. So this being a Spanish Gialli, this also kind of came at a time when a fascist regime in Spain. So it is quite on the light side for a typical Giallo that you might be used to. There are a lot of moments where we would normally get some gratuitous sex and nudity that well, we don't get here. I know this one kind of has a bit of a bad rep for advertising Paul Naschy in a main role, which it's not. It's a little more than a cameo, but definitely don't go in expecting a Paul Naschy movie. Having said that, I don't think this one is bad. I think that number one, Jack Taylor, Patty Shepard. There's a great Euro horror pedigree on hand for this one, and I enjoyed it. It's one I feel in a weird sort of way. Maybe you can introduce to somebody who doesn't want the graphic sex and violence. I mean, and recently you could even compare Knives Out in a way, I suppose. But it's light, but it's not bad. It really isn't bad. It's not going to make the elite list of Giallos. I will say, quite frankly, from what I had heard about this one, I was expecting it not to be very good. But there's some twists, there's some turns. It's a good time. I don't really have a lot of complaints about it. Just but it's pretty basically PG-13 territory. What did you think, Todd?
PG-13 is a stretch. It would be a light R.
Yeah.
Well, because someone's an asshole. I was prepared for this one also not to be great, because some hat wearing asshole. But I actually really liked it. I think it nailed it. Well, the Agatha Christie thing, because it definitely feels like an old school murder mystery, which I am also a fan of.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that it was light on the other stuff, the fact that I was so interested in the plot, it didn't bother me that it was light on the nudity, like a normal Giallo, or even the bloodshed of a typical one. But the story made up for it. So I was very satisfied with this one.
My favorite part, and it probably made me enjoy it even more, was the fact that one of the characters is basically a Spanish Lemmy from Motorhead. Like literally, like I was just sitting there the whole time, like just yeah. I want to do a dubbing of this and have like Triple H's music hits when he comes out and like backhands his wife. Just time to play the game. But yeah, I think you pretty much nailed it. I mean, again, this is not in my top 10 Giallos. It's probably not even in the top 20, but I do love this genre and I had a good time. The actors are all on point. I mean, Jack Taylor, again, one of the legends who is still with us, and never met him, but I know people who've dealt with him over the years, and really, really nice guy. And yeah, as long as you go in not expecting heavy gore and there is no nudity, I think you will like it. That aside, honestly, it stands above some of the lesser Giallos I could name. I mean, it really held my interest, and it's a really good watch. And like I said, again, this one, not a lot of people have seen it at all. And I'll talk a little bit about it. There is a Kat Ellinger commentary as an extra feature, which really gives you some good background on this, and she talks a little bit of the bad rep with Paul Naschy's his top billing in the film's initial release. She talks a lot about some of the home release history, and some of the Spanish horror for a long time, some of the tricky rights issues with producers, which made this difficult to get a hold of. And if you're interested in kind of the history of the subgenre, Kat goes over kind of the difference between Spanish giallos versus Italian, and how Spain, of course, had to operate under a fascist regime, which, again, being a Jess Franco fan, why he went and made films elsewhere. There's one bit of interest too. This is a fantastic commentary. She always does great commentaries. Carmen Mara, who plays Laura, became a huge star in Spain, still is, and is a regular in a lot of Pedro Almodovar films like Volver and Women on the Verge of a Nervous Breakdown. So fans of her should check it out. Again, if you don't know the name, you've probably seen her if you're into Pedro's films. Yeah, I like this one. I like a good old-fashioned murder mystery. I don't necessarily have to have the gore and nudity, and don't worry, that's coming. But yeah, so there's nothing mind-blowing in this. But if you like the genre, it's a good time, and I'd say it's actually above average. I give it a 3. And on the extras, just for the commentary alone, I mean, I'm a 4. They did a great job as always.
I'm a 3.5 on the film. I was going back and forth between a 3 and a 3.5, but I did really like it. So yeah, overall package, yeah, with the extras of 4.
Awesome. All right. Oh, and I should say these films are available in a box set too. So when you check out,
they're only available in a box set.
Yes. So Forgotten Gialli. So yeah, you'll go on Volume 1, which really excites me because I have some ideas of what they may put out after this, and I'm excited. I don't know anything, but man, I have some guesses, and they need to get that shit out amazingly fast because I can't wait. All right, so our next film comes from 1975, and it comes from director Helia Colombo, and it is Police Are Blundering in the Dark. So this film follows a young nude model is violently stabbed to death with a pair of scissors. It soon emerges that 3 other women have already fallen prey to this unknown maniac, and that all 3 victims have a single and unique connection. They all served as models for an eccentric photographer named Parisi. When another young woman with a date to be photographed is murdered, her journalist boyfriend decides to investigate the crimes and quickly finds himself mixed up with Parisi, who reveals that he's working on a camera capable of photographing people's thoughts. The only film credit from one-and-done director Helia Colombo, The Police Are Blundering in the Dark, is a satisfyingly sleazy and decidedly oddball giallo rarity, filled with bloody killings, plentiful nudity, wild plot twists, and plenty of general weirdness. Unseen outside of its native Italy, Vinegar Syndrome presents The Police Are Blundering in the Dark in a fresh 2K restoration of its original negative, and in its first official home video release anywhere in the world. All right. So they nailed it with weird. This is something that deals with some elements that you don't usually see in giallo. So it's nothing if not unique. Todd, what did you think of Police Are Blundering in the Dark?
It's another one. It is weird, but it taught me one thing. I miss the good old days where you could pull out a bitch's titty and she'd fuck you in the bushes. That shit don't happen no more. But
there you go.
The good old days.
1975. Grab it.
I was -1, but there in spirit.
Hey, you would be sucking on some titties the following year. So, there you go. Did I make that one awkward? You're like squinting your eye.
Have you even looked at the group, the host chat? I've been typing it for like 20 minutes.
I've got headphones on now. It's weird, so I'm
you
sorry.
Can't see, wait.
Yes,
you can't see with headphones on.
It's weird. It's like you're underwater. It's like it sounds good. It sounds good, but it's like, come on. It's like the machine in the movie. But anyways, yes, I'm caught up. All right, so yeah, I actually like this one. It is kind of weird, and a lot doesn't make sense in a way. But now this one, on the other hand, there's a ton of sleaze.
Oh yeah.
Good deal of nudity, as Todd said. It's the grab a titty and fuck era of
in the bushes though.
In the bushes. That needs to be on a shirt. Grab a titty and fuck in the bushes. And the police are blundering. Vinegar Syndrome merch, man. Merch. We got it. We got you covered. So yeah, I still like this. It has that bizarre quality about it where you don't know what the hell's going on. They pull into this weird almost Twilight Zone kind of feel. Giallo is really never, I don't know if you want to call it sci-fi, but it maybe flirts a little bit with sci-fi, and Giallo never really goes there. So that alone kind of makes it unique. And do I love this movie? I'll be honest, no. But I definitely enjoyed watching it in a weird sort of way because I'm still kind of thinking about it. I I don't know, but this one I would say is probably the rarest that you'll find. Again, first-time director, mostly unknown cast, although Gabriella Giorgelli was in Seven Bloodstained Orchids, which is a much more popular title. This, again, I don't think was ever seen outside of Italy, as they said, and I don't even remember seeing any kind, even at conventions. I don't remember the bootleggers ever having this. It's an oddity, and I still kind of like it, to be honest. And it delivers the goods. There's good deal of nudity, some gore, and it's unpleasant, and the maid looks damn good. So, Todd, any closing thoughts on this one?
You kind of nailed it. This one, while I did enjoy it, I don't think it was up there with the other two. Kind of tipped my hat a little bit, but not too much. But I do again think it's above average. I'm a 3 on it, and I think if you're a fan of the Giallo, you're gonna have a good time with this one. It hits. If the other one was light on it, on the gore and sleaze and the nudity and fun stuff, this one makes up for it.
It does. And in addition to your Bush thing, I thought it was funny after a attempted molestation that the girl just wants to like walk around and eat a sandwich after that. I thought that walks around naked eating a sandwich, which I thought was kind of.
Isn't that what you do when you're not on air?
75. Oh yeah, dude. I'm always walking around naked. Hey, Patreon, you never know. We can do whatever the hell we want. And there is a historical audio essay with film historian and critic Rachel Nisbet on this. It gives you as much background as you can get. So I'm a 4 on extras. Movie, I'm a 2.5 on the movie. But it is, if you're a fan of this genre, you should check it out because if nothing else, it's like nothing you've ever seen before. So yes. So moving on to our main event of the evening is our another Spanish Gialli from one of my personal
Spanish Giallo. Gialli is the pure plural.
Yes, Giallo. I'm sorry. I mix up because it's forgotten Gialli and Spanish Giallo from 1978 and one of my personal favorite directors, Leon Klimovsky. And it is Trauma, not to be confused with, several films, but Dario Argento's Trauma, of course. This movie follows Daniel, a writer seeking seclusion to work on his new book, finds himself stranded at a rural bed and breakfast run by a strange and prudish young woman and her ailing wheelchair-bound husband who remains shut in his room all day. However, as night falls, a psychotic razor-wielding killer begins stalking the bed and breakfast, brutally slashing the throats of its most sex-crazed guests, whose bodies and luggage then mysteriously disappear the following morning. A satisfyingly trashy, low-budget Spanish giallo, which inadvertently also ranks as one of the country's earliest proto-slashers, Leon Klimovsky's Trauma, aka Violation Fatale, is filled with gratuitous sex and nudity, along with bloody killings. Barely released outside of Spain, Vinegar Syndrome presents Trauma on Blu-ray in a brand new 2K restoration of its camera negative and in its longest version ever available on home video. All right. So, as I was saying, Leon Klimovsky is a personal favorite. This is actually, I believe, his last feature that he made. And if you don't know the name, man, just a ton of classic Paul Naschy stuff. He's also done, of course, Vampire's Night Orgy, the Dracula Saga, Vengeance of the Zombies, Dr. Jekyll versus the Werewolf. I mean, this guy, if you're unaware of his filmography, you should definitely dive in. I've always really enjoyed his work. And I'm going to say this one, I like this one a lot. It is also, there's certain things you could complain about, and I'm not going to spoil anything, but for seasoned horror fans in general, you're going to recognize a connection to a famous horror movie pretty early on. I don't know that there's necessarily a lot of surprises there, but this one is loaded to the hilt with slashings, tons of nudity. Agatha Lees, who actually plays Veronica, she certainly was a big deal in Spain, a pretty big celebrity. And we also have Antonio Mayans talking about Euro horror royalty on hand here. This one is just a nasty giallo that, at times a little obvious, but I liked the bizarre tone. And I'm going to be honest, I think there's certain things, and we'll do like literally maybe a minute spoiler that we'll warn you about at the end. But I wanted to ask Todd about, and I think it might be the same thing he wanted to ask me about.
Well, but see, here's the thing. I could just say it, but she'll react, and that'll screw it up. See,
We'll give not him
but it's not a spoiler unless you go like, "Oh, that was a spoiler," which you always do.
I think we're talking about something different then.
Well, if we probably are, but when I say mine, don't react if it is, because it's not obvious unless you like make it obvious. And I'm not saying it is, but you have a tendency to do that when it's a passing comment.
I
That
will be.
is it really a spoiler till you make it one. It's like the quarantine poster. You don't. It's not a spoiler unless you know.
Well, what'd you think of the movie first before we get into that?
I love this one.
Yeah.
It was nice to see it finally look beautiful. I think that made me like it even more. It was. I know what you're saying about being predictable, but the fact that you think in your head it's predictable doesn't that make it not predictable if you're going by Gialli standards?
Kind of, yeah. I'm going to elaborate more on this one, but
Oh, well,
yeah.
that's fine. But yeah, yeah. This whole one, it was like, yeah, I kind of knew where it was going, but the ride was what made it fun.
Mhm.
And all I got to say about the poor husband in this, all he was trying to do was have a nice wedding knife till that bitch slit his throat. Poor guy, he's doing his thing, romantic wedding, not happy. Other than that, I loved it.
Yeah, man, the women in this one, wow. There is some
I know.
primo retro poontang on display here.
I'm glad Dan respects the women we talk about.
I do. I do. I'm just saying.
Dan, remember YouTube.
YouTube, but you can say that.
Yeah, but that's just disrespectful.
Shut up, Todd. It is.
It is.
I will behave.
These are Dan's comments, not mine. I love the women out there. So
yes, beautiful, beautiful women.
Or as Dan says, the beautiful poontang.
Well, you said it twice. You get it once, and you can still maintain your rating. But Todd had to say it twice. All right. God damn it! There goes the Disney sponsorship. Good job, Todd. But anyways, yeah, I like this one. This is just everything that you could want. I'm gonna say I actually like the lead actor, who's the producer. Also, there's something very weird and strange about him. And I thought the performance actually kind of worked. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about some stuff when we give you your spoiler warning first. But in fact, let's go ahead and we'll give this, let's rate it. And then I'm going to elaborate more because this is one I wanted to talk more openly about. So I'm going to give this one a 4. It's my favorite of this batch, and I had a really good time with it. What say you, Todd?
I'm actually with you on this. I'm a 4, and I threw up the artwork for the box set just so it's there so everyone can see it. I had a better picture I can put up too. Actually, here, let's show the other one. There we go. There's a picture of the set and the discs. What were you asking? I totally got lost with you.
All right.
I'll put the other one back up.
Yeah. And I should also say there is a commentary track with Troy Howarth. So I'm a 4 as well on the extras.
Yeah, all I know is this is making me excited for future volumes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious to see what surprises Vinegar Syndrome has for us Friday. I know I'll be staying up. Well, for me, it's only 9 p.m. In midnight's like you're 9 a.m., so you're fine.
Yeah, I'm good.
So we'll be reviewing whatever is. Maybe.
Yep. Yes, and we have a lot of Vinegar Syndrome coming your guys' way. It's impossible to do them all on one show, so keep your eye out. You get a lot of Vinegar Syndrome.
Maybe we'll do another retro one too. Maybe we'll do one. We can release it Thursday at 9. Do one for next week since. Maybe we'll do that. I'm down. You down? You want to call it now?
We'll talk about it. We'll do something Vinegar Syndrome oriented.
Yeah.
So yeah, check that out.
The halfway to Black Friday show. There. We booked on air.
We booked on air. That's as much talking as we do off air. It's just boom, boom, boom. All right. So
now, Dan's complaining the whole time. It's like pulling teeth. It's a nightmare to book.
Fuck you, Todd.
He's always trying to get the midgets over. It's like Bundy 5 count. It's a whole thing.
Yeah, I know. Don't make me tell the Bundy story. All right. So, spoiler warning. Now we're going to talk a little more openly about this.
All right, yes. Spoilers. If you're still listening, that is not our fault. We are sorry. We hope you enjoyed this episode. If you have not listened to our other Vinegar episode from yesterday, where we talk the other two Vinegar Syndrome release, also as bonuses, we talk the newest Into the Dark and the Dan's 10-star movie Scoob. So that'll be so check that one out.
All right. So, spoiler warning again. So what I really love about this movie that I couldn't talk as openly about is, like, yes, the psycho thing is pretty obvious from the outset that that husband is no longer living. But I still think a lot was going on with the main Daniel, the main character, the main male character, I should say. So I'm going to ask you this, because maybe maybe this is what you were going to go with or not. I think he was a pedophile.
I got that. That wasn't the part. The thing I was saying was my comment about the wedding night.
He couldn't get his dick up because she wasn't a child. That's exactly what was happening. And I don't think it's that. Like, the second he grabbed the kid in the outside, I was like, oh shit, this is gonna get kind of fucked up. But it didn't quite go there. But yeah, he's a pedophile, right?
I didn't get that. But yeah, it makes sense. I know you guys know you're on.
Fuck you, Tom.
I'm sorry. That was even rude for me. I'm just kidding. Dan is not.
And I can't say poontang. God damn it. That's messed up. Yeah, no, and I don't think there's much to interpret. I mean, that's exactly what I got from that. I mean, the issues weren't just getting his dick hard. The dude was a pedophile. Now, I don't know, maybe in their writing of it, it was just that he was gay or something. But I mean, I took it that the dude was a pedo.
You know what? You said that, and then all of a sudden we have someone jumping in.
We do?
He heard pedo, so
pedo.
Yo.
What? Yeah, Pugs. We were just talking about the Giallo and debating whether a character was a kitty fiddler. I say yes.
I would trust your word.
That's fucked up. He already did that.
Yeah, but he did it so much better.
That is messed up.
All right, but yeah, we're just wrapping up. We were talking about yesterday's show that we did with you. It was great.
All right. Yeah.
So Pug just came on to say hello and goodbye.
Yo. Hope everyone's okay in the quarantine. Next day later.
Yes. Well, okay. So yes, I don't think it was really meant to be.
You threw him off. Look at him all nervous and shit.
You're on to me.
Well, there was something else I was going to point out, that one actress's age is a little off if you believe IMDb, which of course can rarely be believed. But Antonio Mayan's girlfriend in this film was another thing. Troy Howard talks about that and a lot of other stuff on his commentary. But yeah, no, it's not. I wouldn't say it's Klimovsky's best film, but I did enjoy it, and I think this is the one that really makes it. But yeah, fantastic set from Vinegar Syndrome, and I enjoy
well, let me ask you this, because we know probably should have done this before we went into spoilers. But what do you rate the set as a whole?
Oh, 5.
See, I'm that too. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I'm definitely with that.
One big hole.
Right?
One big hole. Yeah. Man, the movies this rare. I mean, again, most of them are essentially new for 99% of anybody that's going to watch them. So, yeah, I highly, highly recommend you pick this up. And I don't know if we'll get an announcement on 2, the second volume.
Probably
yeah, I don't know if that'll happen for halfway, but yeah. So anyways, guys, I think I did most of our plugging, but follow us on Twitter as well I am actually trying to post more on Twitter, so you can follow all of us separate. Tweet more on Twitter. God damn it.
He can't get it right. He will eventually.
It's still posting. Why can't a man say post? Tweeting.
Yeah. Well, one, you're supposed to say stalk us on, and you already.
You can stalk us. You can absolutely stalk us on Twitter. And like I said, we're gonna have.
At all.
Yeah, I know. He only puts over. He's like, I'm on Twitter now. That's all that matters.
Well, I'm just saying, you can follow us separate, and you can also follow Flesh Wound.
That better be 60 yards from a playground, Dan. You've been warned.
Flesh Wound Radio right now on Twitter, so check us out there. FleshWoundFeatures.com. Be sure to join the Horror Cartel Flesh Wound Radio Facebook group and like the Flesh Wound Features Facebook page. I think I covered it all there.
Yeah, good enough, Dan.
So, guys, check out the other Vinegar Syndrome show with Pugs, and we will see you soon.
Good night.
Good night. Yeah.